Hello, Ian Higton from Eurogamer speaking.
Agent Doc, it's me, Carrington.
Oh, come on, Carrington, you know I don't like that code name.
Quiet, Doc. Datadyne's HR have just got in contact with me and they believe that you've been browsing Pornhub on company time and on a company computer, no less. They're gunning for a disciplinary.
That is absolute bobbins, Carrington. The only thing I've been using this computer for is good old-fashioned research.
Then why have you been Googling anal land? Anal land?
Look, I can explain. You see, it's all part of this video I'm working on called 7 Bizarre Easter Eggs from the Perfect Dark series, because there's this bit in the game where... Look, hold on. This will be easier to explain if I just show you.
The developer of the original Perfect Dark games, Rare, has never been shy about its love of bottoms. From hiding the word arse in both Grabbed by the Ghoulies and Banjo-Tooie, through to allowing players to unlock a gun named the AR-53 in Perfect Dark. Yes, AR-53 looks like arse if you squint. Rare has been secretly mooning its fans for years. The most famous anus in the whole of Rare's history, however, has to be the Anal Land billboard that Joanna Dark flies past during the intro cutscene for Perfect Dark. According to an interview from super excellent gaming website Eurogamer, the Anal Land sign was never meant to be seen, and it was actually just an in-joke for the team. But, of course, this saucy sign was the first thing that eagle-eyed gamers around the globe spotted when they played the game. This little oversight was rectified for the Xbox Live Arcade remaster of Perfect Dark that was released in 2010. In the updated introduction, as Joanna's ship flies past the sign, you can see that the text has been changed to Clubland. So I guess Rare wasn't fannying around when it decided to leave this awkward Easter egg behind.
The key is useless.
See, Carrington, my anal fixation was totally innocent.
Listen, Doc, you know as well as anyone else that we're on thin ice here. The Carrington Institute has only just been acquired by Datadyne, and we need to show them that we're not just a bunch of arse-joke-loving idiots. Our jobs are on the line here, so this next point better be sensible.
Come on! When am I ever not sensible? Oh wait, no. Don't answer that.
You're on the same floor as the Santa's office.
Nowadays, Joanna Dark is a celebrity in her own right, but during the development of the original Perfect Dark, she was of course a complete unknown. Because of this, her creators at Rare needed to find ways to imbue their leading lady with some star power, so that she'd shine on release. And to do that, they based Joanna's appearance on famous Beetlejuice marriage avoider Winona Ryder. Ryder's elfin features and short pixie cut hairstyle were all the rage at the time, especially after her performances in Girl Interrupted and Alien Resurrection, and so her look was summarily yoinked by Rare and used as the inspiration for Joanna's wee little mug. But Rare didn't just copy celebrities' styles, it also copied their actual faces, which is exactly what they did with Babylon 5's Richard Biggs. Richard, who played Dr. Stephen Franklin in the hit sci-fi show, had his full face photographed by Rare, and this was then used for the President Clanton character model.
You can't make accusations like that without evidence. I assume that you have some?
Hollywoodland wasn't the only place that Rare went to get its guest stars, though. They also called in a little help from their famous developer pals over in Video Game Land, including notorious truthbender Peter Molyneux. Molyneux's face can be occasionally seen grafted onto random enemy soldiers throughout the game, like this one here that I just shot in the throat. Oh, crikey, that is haunting. Pinocchio's most famous appearance in Perfect Dark, though, has to be during this intro cutscene from the game's second mission, where Joanna wallops the curious cube creator on the back of the head as he inspects an empty lift. Arguably the best guest appearance in Perfect Dark, though, has to be the one that was seemingly removed from the game for the release of the Xbox Live Arcade remaster, and that is none other than Shigeru Miyamoto, the king of Nintendo himself. King-tendo? Miyamoto's face can be seen in the cutscene right at the start of the Pelagic 2 exploration level, on this guard here whose red uniform was intentionally styled to look like Mario's signature outfit. This was obviously done as a loving tribute to the man who invented the most famous plumber in the world. But if you ever fancied seeing Miyamoto dressed up as someone else, namely Joanna Dark herself, you can head on over to the multiplayer portion of the game and plonk his tiny little digi-head onto any body that you want. Oh my.
How about that then? Was that any better?
You shot Molyneux in the face! Twice! And you put Miyamoto in a skin-tight future onesie! Of course that wasn't any better!
Hey, listen, in my defense, Miyamoto did look pretty hot.
Aye, I suppose he did, aye.
Here we go then. This one is super safe for work, and it's a little treat for music lovers too, because it's a hidden reference to American alternative rock band, the Pixies. Now, normally I'd probably put a clip of one of their songs in this bit here, but you're just going to have to imagine that I've done that because I don't want a copyright strike. So just go on to Spotify and listen to Hey or something. It's great. Anyway, during the Area 51 rescue level, once Joanna uses explosives to blow her way into the autopsy lab area, you can hear announcements over the intercom system for Lieutenant Deal, Dr. Francis, Captain Santiago, Dr. Lovering, and Nurse Robinson. These names are based on Kim Deal, Charles Black Francis Thompson IV, Joey Santiago, and David Lovering, who are members of the Pixies, while Nurse Robinson is allegedly a reference to a producer and audio engineer called Mike Robinson. But he's not listed in the IMDb credits for Perfect Dark, and as far as I can tell, he only worked on the live album The Pixies at the BBC and helped with some John Peel sessions, so I don't know, maybe he was just a mate of one of Rare's sound designers or something. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if you're watching this, Mike, because, yeah, I googled it for ages and I ran out of time. Sorry.
Well, Dork, that was definitely less offensive, but not really that bizarre considering the title of the video and all. We don't want Datadyne to think we're idiots, but at the same time, we don't want to look like dirty liars either.
Don't worry, Carrington. You cheddar believe I've got a good one coming up next.
Were those bloody cheese puns, Dork? Because if they were, I'll set the bloody skedar on you myself.
No?
Way before Halo was hiding skulls in hard-to-reach places in its games, Perfect Dark was hiding something much, much tastier. Cheese. Back when Perfect Dark first came out, players slowly started to discover big chunks of Swiss cheese that had been discreetly deposited in out-of-the-way areas in each of its levels. There's one hidden on the first level, which is only accessible by blowing a hole in this pipe with a rocket launcher so that you can drop down into a secret room. See, there it is on the windowsill there, looking all cheesy and holy and stuff. And then there's this one here that's floating unhygienically in the U-bend of a toilet in the Pond Punk Bar on the Chicago level, just waiting for someone like me to dip their fingers in and give it a nibble. There's a piece of cheese to find on every level, in fact, and some of them are so hard to find that sometimes they require cheats and specific weapons in order to access them. So players then became convinced that finding and shooting them all would lead to some kind of big reward. Theories ranged from the cheese unlocking a hidden level through to unlocking all of the cheats in the game. But these theories were put to rest after an interview with Perfect Dark artist B. Jones was published in a making of video in Rare Replay. Look, take a look.
This is the actual reason for it. When I was working with Ross Burry, he was editing the President's plane on that level, and he had made some bit of the plane, some doohickey. And I went up to him in that amusing way and I went, see that? Looks like I've made a slice of cheese, you know, the actual wedge of cheese. So In every level he went into, subsequently when he edited it, he put a wedge of cheese in it, and that is his signature. So every level Ross went into, where he edited it, there's a piece of cheese hidden somewhere in it. That's the reason.
See, Doc? That's more like it. Humour, mystery, suspense, resolution, cheese, and it was a bit bizarre. That's some cracking games journalism right there. Datadyne will love it.
Nice. Well, I've got plenty more where that came from too. Well, not plenty. I've got 3, but still 3 is better than 2.
Aside from mega fans who want to know what happened to Joanna Dark in the year before the events of the N64 game, not many people know of or have played the Game Boy Color version of Perfect Dark. The reason for that is basically because this 8-bit prequel was rather crap. The top-down gameplay, which allowed players to see a maximum of 3 feet in front of Joanna at all times, combined with bullet sponge bad guys, made later levels impossibly hard. And due to limitations of the hardware, it felt more like a game for the Nokia 3310 than a worthy partner to the incredible Nintendo 64 game. But still, it did have its uses, notably that of immediately unlocking 4 cheats in Perfect Dark when the Game Boy Color cart was inserted into the N64's transfer pack. The transfer pack itself plugged into the expansion port on the N64's controller, and upon doing so, Perfect Dark would then reward its player with the following cheats: Cloaking Device, R-Tracker, the All Guns in Solo mode, and the incredible Hurricane Fists cheat. What's really interesting about this fact, though, is that Microsoft carried this idea over to the 2010 remaster, but instead of having to use a transfer pack, which, to be fair, would have been weird because they wouldn't have fit into an Xbox controller, instead those same 4 cheats would unlock if your Xbox Live Arcade copy of Perfect Dark found a save file for Perfect Dark 0 on your hard drive. Although the only way that I could actually get that to work properly was to delete my entire copy of the Xbox Live Arcade Perfect Dark, plus the game's save file as well, and then start the game from fresh. Literal hours of gaming wasted for like 20 seconds of video content? You're welcome.
A bit of personal sacrifice, Agent Doc. New employers love that kind of stuff. Keep this up and Datadyne's HR will forget all about your search history in no time.
Look, Carrington, I told you, Anal Land was for research.
You know, they can still see what you search for when you're in incognito mode, right?
They can do what now? Oh my god.
Alright, seeing as we've already broached the topic of the ginger stepchild of the Perfect Dark series, and don't worry, I was a ginger stepchild, so I can say that. Did you know that there is a very rare blink and you'll miss it nod to the Xbox 360 in Perfect Dark prequel, Perfect Dark 0, which basically confirms that the console exists in that universe. Although maybe blink and you'll miss it is the wrong phrase to use because it's actually an audio file, but I don't know what the hearing version of blink and you'll miss it would be, so I'm going to move on swiftly. During the Trinity escape mission, if you shoot Jonathan here in the hand, there is a very slim chance that he will say this line.
Can't play Xbox anymore.
Which is obviously a nice little nod to the fact that Perfect Dark 0 was an Xbox 360 launch title. Trying to get this little voice line to trigger is lots of fun because Jonathan is very annoying and he deserves being shot, but whatever you do, make sure you try this with a pistol so you can aim accurately, because if you try doing it with a shotgun, Jonathan will die. Whoops.
We'll have to take her down. Damn fool girl's lost it.
Now, annoyingly, if you do this, that means that you'll have to play through the entirety of this insanely boring level all over again. Just like I had to do, and it absolutely sucked all of the pleasure out of the universe for me, and it almost made me give up on gaming. It was that bad, so just definitely don't do it, alright?
Bit down on the old Perfect Dark 0 there, weren't you, Doc? Not sure Datadyne will be down with that amount of negativity.
Wait a minute, have you even played Perfect Dark Zero before, Carrington?
No, obviously not.
Well then do me a favour and go and give it a quick go while I crack on with this next point. Go on, I've installed it onto the Office network and everything.
This last little Easter egg is one that only the oldies will appreciate. And I don't mean the current idea of old, which for some reason is people who played the pissing PS2. I mean normal old, like the people who played the ZX Spectrum. Anyway, back in the Specky days, Rare wasn't called Rare, it was called Ultimate Play the Game, and Ultimate, as the cool kids called it, developed and published some of the best games on that system. As a tribute to triumphant times gone by, in the Plaza multiplayer map in Perfect Dark Zero, Rare built a bit of an art gallery dedicated to those classic games that put the company on the map. Spread across the interiors of 3 houses are framed covers for games like Underworld, Lunar Jetman, Attic Attack, Psst, Pentagram, and many more, most of which, incidentally, are included in the Rare Replay compilation, if you fancy checking out a slice of history. Oh, and as a short little aside based on the history of Rare, during the mission G5 Building Reconnaissance in the original Perfect Dark, after opening this safe and stepping inside, you'll find an actual bafta stashed away on this shelf here. This is the actual bafta, well, okay, not the actual one, but a scanned model of the actual bafta that was given to Rare for being the best UK developer in 1998. And I think if you've won a BAFTA and you're going to put it on display somewhere, you might as well put it on display in one of the best games ever made for the N64.
So, how did it go with Perfect Dark Zero, Carrington? Did you enjoy it? Carrington? Carrington? Are you there?
Sorry, I mean, what the hell was that? Holy Christ! Forget your disciplinary, you deserve a pay rise for playing that piece of shit.
Hello? Oh, he hung up. Oh well, I guess he enjoyed playing Perfect Dark Zero as much as I did then. Oh well, listen, thanks to all of you lot out there who watched this video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a like, subscribe to Eurogamer for almost daily videos about video games, and then why not click on some of these other videos that are on screen and clickable right now, while I try to work out how on earth I can completely delete all of my browsing history. I mean, is that even possible? Should I just pull the hard drive out and burn it? Do hard drives even burn? Can I Google if hard drives even burn? Oh Christ, okay, let's...